Welcome to the TCG podcast. I'm Marilyn. This is the return with Ahmed from Shadow Strike. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming on.
Of course, anytime. How you been? How's everything going?
I'm good. It's so funny because I never thought that we would be here doing a podcast together from when we met. We met, I don't know, what was it, like 3-4 months ago?
I met
inside the store
in around so I started vending in November. And I remember the start to vending. It was more so what set had just it was Twilight Masquerade had dropped, and we were like, Ash's Greninja is in the set. And we were, me and my friends, we were anime watchers of Pokemon. So we were like, oh, Ash Greninja's back? Okay, let's go rip it. So we go rip Twilight Masquerade, and I pull it out, and it's not Ash's Greninja. It's like the Terastal thing. It's like the fighting energy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, we look at each other, and we're like, oh, we're just all stupid, I guess, because we couldn't tell that this wasn't Ash's Greninja. Because you know that card. That card has, like, so much color going on to it.
Right.
It's confusing. So we go, and then we rip the box. I'm like, we're not expecting to hit it, but we hit it. And then we were like, oh my God. Now I'm sitting around with a $300-something card, and it's not even the card I wanted. So we're like, how do we sell this? So we put it up on eBay, right? And it's like not moving. It's like, first of all, we don't know how to post stuff on eBay. So it's a card on a bed. I didn't even know what a top loader was. It was in a penny sleeve, right? And nobody was biting. So we looked up how to sell Pokemon cards on Google. And the first show that had popped up in there was Morris County. So we go to Morris County, we sell the card, and no idea how percents work, no idea how anything works. And we're just like, the guy offered me $100 on it, right? And I'm like, okay, this was a waste of a 45-minute drive. So we leave, right? Then the next week was the
so that was the only time that you ever had an experience with going to a show or anything. You were just like, all right, how do I sell Pokemon cards? I'm going to go to a show. And then you knew the value of your card.
Yeah.
And you said, okay, we're going to try. Did you know that? Well, you didn't go as a vendor. So you went as a walker. So you just walked around, and the first table you went to, do you know who that person was? Is it someone you deal with now?
No idea. It's actually, I haven't seen them since. And I'll get back to when I first saw them again. So,
you did.
So obviously I know nothing about Pokemon cards. We just know it's expensive. The reason we found out is you hit the camera search on Google. We took a picture of the card, and the TCG player listing popped up.
Right.
So this is before any idea of being a vendor or anything. This is just me and my friends messing around. Right. So the next week was your show, and I didn't know it was your show until way later on. Right. So we go, and I meet Greg. Right, Greg of the cards, Greg Silver.
Oh yeah.
And he gives me like a really good number on the card, so I take it, and then I was like, "Oh, this is actually kind of fun," right? So I take my money, I go, and we go to Atlantic City.
What?
Right. Well, I'm not going to buy more Pokemon cards. I have no idea what I'm getting. Right?
Was this a Bridgewater show, or was it? Do you remember what show it was that you?
I didn't even know what the NJ TCG show was, and I didn't know you had two venues until starting vending and everything. But recently, I walked the most recent show because we had a prior arrangement. It was it was the weekend of my birthday. What was it? May 15th. No, so 14th.
Oh, the one that just passed?
Show. Yeah, May 18th.
The 18th.
So, yeah, because I came to hang out with Kenny, right? So, I love Kenny to death.
He's great.
I love Kenny. Right? So that's the venue it was in. That's
okay.
where I sold my card at. So I see that, and then I was like, oh, the memories slowly come in. So months pass after that, And my other friend wants to become a vendor now. And I was like, oh, yo, I was just doing this stuff like this not too long ago. And he was like, yeah, well, I need help. I can't plan stuff. Like, I suck at booking and like all this stuff. So I'm just like, well, I plan events for work all the time. This can't be too hard, right? So I'm like planning a show for us, and I plan all this little stuff, like when we meet, when we do stuff, and he shows me percents, and we go to walk a bunch of shows. So that's when I saw the little green logo behind one of the people who were selling tickets, right? And I was like, oh yeah, I've been here before. Right. And then we went to like Woodbridge Card Show to like keep buying stuff. Now we're trying to buy stuff because he wants one of his own little tables. Right? So we finally get everything prepared, and then we realize we're both bad at budgeting. So I'm good at event planning. You know your Pokemon knowledge, but we're horrible at budgeting. So we're sitting here figuring it out, and I'm just like, I get a call on my phone, right? And I answer, and it's Eli. Eli had called me, right? And Eli's like, yo, you want to go grab ice cream? And I go ahead and I tell him, I was like, of course your fat self is thinking about ice cream 8:30 p.m. at night, talking about let's go get some ice cream.
Listen, it's always time for ice cream. It's like, regardless of what your size is, it's always ice cream time.
Oh my God, always ice cream time. I swear to you, we won't be at a show. Like, it'll be in the middle of the week, and like I'm working on my computer at my desk, and Eli's like, ice cream ? Right? I love Eli to death. That's why I get to bully him the way I bully him. But it's okay, because like he always tells people I abandoned him at the table. So
you do. I mean, like, in all honesty,
we're working, all working.
The first two times I saw you at a show, you were walking around, and you're like, oh, we have a table, and I was like, and poor Eli is there by himself, and you're like, look at this and look at this, and look. I was just like, you're not vending.
Oh my God,
you're just like
people from all over the place.
And Rob said the same thing. My husband Rob, who had met Ahmed before, was walking one of the shows, and Ahmed found him within the show and said, come see my table. So that's two people that have now, I know from experience that you were not at your table. You were just dragging people from other tables. Okay, I see how it is. Poor Eli, you abuse him.
Whoa, it's all fair in games. When we're recording the podcast and I have to put everyone together, Eli's like, yo, thank God you do this. I hate you. So, actually,
the impression of Eli, that's not, oh my God.
So he was like, so we've had the Instagram up since our first show, right? And he didn't log on to it till as of recently. He didn't log on to it until like last month.
He's not a tech guy, okay?
No, he is. He's actually the biggest tech guy because he fixed the computer. He's not the biggest social media guy. So he logs on, and we see each other at work one day later, and he's like, he's holding his phone to me like this. You deal with this all day? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, it's 8 a.m. and you're already at 27 messages. And he's like stuttering like that. I was like, yeah, that's normal. Thank God you don't have my phone number. Imagine the text messages and calls. He was like, take it off my phone. I don't want it. Take it off my phone. I don't want it. Right? And oh man, what was it? Oh, the shows. So we see the green logo, and I'm like, I've been here before. So then we run into Robbie Rocket. And Robbie's like, yeah, you want to do this and do that. And like, he showed us somebody who was trying to offload a lot, like of singles. And then all three of us meet, and we go vend our first show, right? We realized 3 people was way too much for one table, right?
Yeah.
Like, nobody agreed on anything. Everything didn't like work through. So what we had done was everybody was just like, oh, well, this vending thing isn't for me. So Eli and I were like, nah, I'm having fun. We're going to do this.
You were like, you can leave.
Right? So, but then it's like, it was that person's collection. So we had to start all over again. Right. So We go to RNG Games and buy a Surging Sparks booster box, and we
That's right.
We ripped the butthole Pikachu.
That's right.
You had
you know what? This past weekend was the first time that I heard anyone call it the butthole Pikachu, and like now that's all I see. It's terrifying.
Guy from TikTok. There's this guy on TikTok, and he rips Surging Sparks packs every day, like a bootleg Kashi collects, and because Kashi started it, Eddie started that trend. So anyone else who does it's copying Eddie, right? And he like sings a little song before ripping the packs, and he was like, "I'm on the quest for the butthole Pikachu." So now everybody calls it that. But anyway, we rip it from the box in your store, right? And we express ship it. Like Eli's like, "I don't want to wait the 3 months. Send," right? So it comes back, and it comes back at 10, baby.
Right? Nice.
Right before it tanked, thank God.
Right.
Right now is all the way down there. So we go and we 1-to-1 trade with somebody we met at our first show, and we set up at like a sports show. What was it called? It was the Garfield show. It's like
yeah.
So we set up there, and we're like, this isn't gonna work. We have one card, right? So
hold on.
When we did our 1-to-1 trade,
you set up. This is the first show that you vended at, and you were like, "All right, guys, we got this. We got one Pikachu and a PS. Is it a PSA or CGC? Where'd you? Okay, so you got one PSA 10 on a whole probably 8-foot table, and you're like, "All right, guys, we're gonna do this."
No, we had traded it. We had traded it at that point because we wanted something else because it was too popular, right? Is what people were saying. So we went and traded it with somebody we met from our first show, and we went to go set up, and we're like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. So what we did was we sold it, and then the same night, I know you remember this because we sold it for cash, and we went and bought all your mystery slabs off the wall.
Oh my gosh! So, all right, I want you to tell the story of the mystery slabs. It's a
hefty story. So,
no, it's a fun story, and
it's hefty because of how Eli was the only one who didn't pull a pristine.
Oh, yeah, well.
So
that's a mystery bag, right?
And we scoop all the because now we're like, well, forget quality, we need quantity, right? So we sell the card and we scoop all the slabs like right off the wall, and we're just like. I forgot who was working that day, but we were like, can we rip these on the table? Do you mind? And they're like, that's what they're there for.
It was me.
No, there was somebody else with you. I think it's Andrew.
Maybe, yeah, probably Andrew.
Right? So you're there, and we were like, would you like to rip one with us?
And I was like,
and you're holding it back.
Don't ask me twice.
You're holding it back like you're showing us, but you won't look at it yourself. And you turn it around and you're like, it's a pristine. It's a pristine. And then we laugh at Eli for being the only one to not pull a pristine.
I was excited. I mean, like, I get very, very excited when anyone pulls anything good, especially from the mystery slabs, because it's exciting. I mean, like, I see, like, the thing about Rob's mystery slabs is like, it's like, it's not junk. You're not going to open it and get like a CGC 5, right? So like when someone opens it, it's always exciting because it's like it's either a 9 or a 10 or pristine, and you're like,
the 9s are higher.
Great. 9s are higher, and then the kids, they get all hyped up, and you're like, yes. So, but it was us, and I saw that you and Eli, you were really excited to open up all these. I didn't know how you got the money to. I thought you guys were just coming off the street with a pocket full of cash, and you wanted to spend some money in the store. But yeah, when you ripped them, and then it was a pristine, and it was a Ghastly.
Oh yeah, the Ghastly.
And like that's the not to sexualize the Pokemon. I hope that Death Metal Charizard isn't watching. But what is it? Gengar's licking Ghastly's ass.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I'm very conscious about like not sexualizing the Pokemon because I think it's a little gross. But I mean, like the butthole Pikachu, every single one of the evolutions, there's something that's a little.
Gengar's a booty muncher, we know.
Right? So
Speaking of Gengar, I got my little Gengar on my chest, and I'm saying his booty budget. Oh, you seen the back of the shirt, right? I know I gave it to you. This is my mini display one, but
it's like a baby shirt. It's cute.
Oh yeah,
I have that shirt.
Yeah, they're gonna be at the. I'm gonna have them again on June 1st at the Lee show.
Lee, Massachusetts. We'll both be there. It's our first show for the TCG show and Death Metal Charizard up in Lee. It's my first out-of-state show. I'm very excited about it. I'm so excited that you were one of the first people that were like, I'm there. You knew no details, but you were like, I'll travel. I don't care. I'm like, it's 3 hours away. You don't care.
I didn't. Actually, you want to hear the story of how we booked that, right?
Let's go.
It's actually going to be so funny. So it was one of the weekends in Jersey. So I know you know this as a showrunner. In Jersey, there's a show every weekend.
Right.
Like, both days, it happened to be the one weekend where there was no shows in Jersey. And my boy Zane from Cheap Traders had called me and he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. and I'm like, it's 6 a.m. What? And he's like, there's a show in Long Island and they have an extra table. Do you want it? And I was like, part of me is like, bro, I want to sleep in. And then the in me was just like, okay, yeah. Jot me down. And then I call Eli and Eli's like, it is 6:30 in the morning. Somebody better have died. Like, you need a good reason to call me right now. And I was like, get dressed. We're going to sell Pokemon cards. So we end up in Long Island and it's in a basement. The show is in a basement, right? And I'm walking down these basement stairs and I'm just like, yep, we're dead. Like, somebody's going to steal our collection and we died. So we're scrolling through the shows, and I had remember you had told me that you plan on doing it. It wasn't 100% set in stone. It wasn't released yet or anything. You just told me that there's a possibility there'll be a show in Mass. And I was like, I love Boston. I'm a go, right? And then you're like, we're not even sure if it's happening yet. And I was like, no, well, I'm gonna be there.
It's like far from Boston, so I hope you didn't book your hotel in Boston.
No. We booked it in Lee, but we're leaving early because I want to go see Boston. Because if I'm gonna be in Massachusetts and doing that drive anyway, I'm going to Boston.
I think it's like 4 hours from Boston.
3 hours and 31 minutes. I checked.
So wait, so you're gonna drive like 6 hours to Boston and then 3 hours in?
Before we're gonna go to Boston. So Saturday morning we leave for Boston, and then after spending the day in Boston, we're gonna drive to Lee and stay the night at Lee. Wake up, hit the Starbucks, and then go to the show because you won't catch me in the show without my coffee.
And it starts a little later. It starts at 10. So we're setup starts at 8, and yeah, it should be good. I want to go there on Saturday just to see the layout and see like where everything is. It's very hard for me to not like be there and like have all the control over everything. So I'm like Death Metal Charizard, take the wheel. Like he was in charge of getting the venue, and so I'm putting my trust in him.
That we're there, right?
Yep, he lives he's like 15 minutes from there.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'll be going up on Saturday, and then hopefully I'll have access to the room, and I'll be able to put my numbers on my tables, and then we'll be able to load in there from 8 o'clock.
It's in the Nike outlet, right?
Yeah, and it's a really exciting time to be a part of this because this outlet mall has open space. So if they want us to come back, there's a possibility that we can go back there for another show, hopefully in August, because I have holes in my schedule for August, September, and November. Yeah, so I have opportunity there if there's any.
So the show in October when tables drop, Kyle's my co-host on my podcast, right? We have agreed that Kyle will request off of work to come to the show, and we will be wearing some Shadow Strike onesies, right?
Well, there's 2 shows in October. I have a show in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
and then then there's the show on Sunday in Bridgewater. So wherever you guys want to be.
The one Kyle, closest to Halloween, I believe, is the one where we're going to do the onesies. Because I booked PA already, so when the other tables drop, we'll book that one as well.
I think October, it's 15th, and then October 26th. So the one closer to Halloween is going to be the Pennsylvania show.
So I guess we'll be in Pennsylvania wearing onesies. That's
what it's
going to be. I'm going to be in my little Shadow Strike onesies, and then Kyle's going to be in his little Arcanine. Because in our podcast logo, it's Gengar like this on the table, and in the other side is Kyle's Arcanine, and they're talking into a microphone.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, but Death Metal Charizard, speaking of him, actually, so he is hilarious. We were at Long Island together, right? And everybody heard the same thing with Long Island. The stage was so loud, right?
Yeah.
And what's funny is he was set up on the other side of the room. So we go to the other side of the room because I'm over there just messing with him at this point, right? And I'm just like, $5 here, and it's like $1,000 card.
Turn your phone off. Didn't we do this?
No, you know what? I turned my phone off. I did not put my.
We said that we were going to do not disturb.
I turned my phone off. Did not turn my MacBook off. That's what it was.
I'm like, what's going on over there?
I forgot that the MacBook is connected to the.
I'm like, hello.
We're on the other side of the stage, right? And they start playing, and he's doing his. I can't do the noise he does. It's like the. Yeah.
I can't do it either. I can't roll my tongue.
No, I can't even roll my R's. And
I can't either.
Noise, and I just start laughing in front of everybody, and like I look extra stupid because I'm wearing my like goggles. You know.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm wearing my goggles because somebody had just asked me if this card was gradable, like if it would 10 or not. So I put on my little Inspector Gadget ass goggles, and I look stupid, but it helps with the card. Actually, every card I looked at with those goggles has 10. Every card has 10. So I'm
no such thing as a coincidence. You might know your shit.
My goggles know their shit. Somebody sent in a card. It was perfect. It looked clean, right? It came back a 7. So they cracked the slab, and I looked at it. A bullet hole this tiny. Right through the card. Most likely it's when the tin popped out. So when you whoever owned the card originally and took it out of the tin, because it was a Sun and Moon Mewtwo tag team promo. Right? So they probably took the plastic piece and pushed their thumb to pop the card out. Pushing your thumb like that probably caused the sharp end to create a bullet hole. Right. So it looked perfect and clean. But because the way promos are always going to be chopped, a lot of promos come out chopped because you could shake the box, you could push the box, anything like that. Promos always come out chopped. But anyways, Death Metal makes the noise, and I'm like laughing so hard at the noise, and my goggles right onto the case. But yeah, no, that was hilarious. He's a great guy.
What would you recommend to someone who's doing their very first show? Just bring one butthole Pikachu and then let it roll, or like how should someone prepare for their first show?
So I think if someone's preparing for their first show, walking shows is ideal, right? So you want to know the feel of the venue you're vending in. You want to know what direction people walk in, right? Before doing our first show, where it was just me and Eli, we walked it twice because we've been there twice. So we know exactly like what the area is, what goes on, what's perfect, what moves. I think if you're just starting, you want to avoid modern. Like Scarlet Violet and like Sword and Shield right now, they're really down. But anything before Sword and Shield, so like Sun and Moon and XY, has been able to keep a steady market. I would do some research. I would learn how TCG Player works. The one thing I recommend to everybody is avoid collector at all costs. Like,
why?
Because it's great for keeping like a storage of knowing what's in your inventory and having your cards, but the prices aren't correct. So almost every vendor I know uses TCG Player, but when you're on collector, sometimes it could pull from like Pokedata or Price Chart, and it will fluctuate the numbers slightly, or it could go super under or super over. So somebody comes up to you and they're like, yeah, but Collector says it's this. Collector's pulling from a multitude of websites, and every vendor has the right to choose how they price their cards and where they find market value at. So I could go up to you and be like, yeah, well, I use Collector, but I'm trying to buy from you and you use TCG Player. So I have to go by TCG Player because that's what you have your stuff priced at. You're on the other side of the table. I have to respect what you're doing. But as somebody who walks around a lot and talks to a lot of people, I know everybody mainly uses TCG Player, and you can't argue with TCG Player. Now, Collector, you could debate with it because it doesn't show last solds. But when you go to TCG Player, you could hit view more items, and it will show you exactly what this card's are for. So it could go 75, 75, 75, 74, 70. What you normally would do is take the last 3 transactions, get the average, and that's how you get the market price, right? But the last 3 solds were all 75. So the card's market value, therefore, will be 75, and that's what you price it at. So that's my tip for new vendors is try to avoid Collector, try to avoid Modern, and just pick up stuff that you would buy since you're walking. Because if you would buy it, the chances someone else also wants to buy that card. And always try to get it for lower than stickers. Sometimes in the beginning, you have to take the hit and buy it higher. I think, honestly, it's a game of luck starting. Right now, we're in like a bull market where stuff is super high and stuff is super low. So it's kind of hard to get into it right now. I think, honestly, if you have sealed or stuff you're sitting on is also a good move. But I think it's to each his own, and everybody learns their own path. I would just avoid Collector, avoid Modern, and just buy what you think you'd like, because if you like it, someone else will.
What do you think are things that people should avoid other than Modern?
I think people should avoid like CGC. Like CGC is really hard to move. I like CGC because like if it's cheap, I could just give it out. You know what I'm saying? But if you're trying to be liquid and move stuff like fluently, I'd avoid graded cards that aren't like full arts or like very popular card. So like you don't want a graded like hollow Noivern. Like a card like that would be hard to move. You'd want a card like a full art like this. Right. Why? Because it's eye popping, it catches the eye. But when you have a graded card like this, it's like, oh, that just looks like a regular Pokemon card. So I think more so is you want stuff that's like visually appealing. If you have 4 red cards, don't put them all together. Red, blue. Alternate the color code. You see what I'm saying? Like these mesh together too easily. Therefore, if I put a bluer card by this one will pop out more because you can see the blue contrasted to the red. So it's all about how you also set up your table.
You gotta learn the color wheel. Like
it's a lot of it came from work. A lot of it came from work and stuff.
If you're doing merchandising, it's definitely that helps when you're setting up your case. So you're not like nothing's like monochromatic. You need it to pop, and you need to. How do you stand out amongst all of the vendors? There's a sea of 150 vendors. How do you stand out?
I think the way I do it is I'm very fortunate to have Eli as my partner because we could attack things on multiple ways. So we have a small LED sign that we put at the top of our shelves, and it's a QR code with our link tree on it, which like links our podcast, our Instagram, and like our YouTube and all that stuff. But I don't see a lot of LED signs. I see a lot of LED lights, but not signs. So Gengar, it's like our logo on a sign. So that's one way we stand out at the table. Another way we stand out is I walk around with the shirt on all the time. So if I pass somebody in this second room and they've seen this and they go and they see my banner with the same logo, they're like, oh, I've seen that. I'm more likely to go check that out. I've seen it twice now. Another thing is when Ian was on the podcast, he mentioned something I do. Now, I didn't realize I do this until Ian mentioned it. When Ian was first on this episode, he said, Ahmed memorizes what everyone has in their case. So I'll be over at like Jerry's table, for example, right? And I'll hear someone's looking for this. I'll walk them over to, let's say, Skylar, for example, right? Skylar had that card. I just helped this customer help Skylar. They're like, oh, are you set up here? I'm like, yeah, we're right over there. Now, because I helped them out, they'll walk over to my table. So I just helped out Skylar and I helped out myself by doing that. So it's all about knowing who has what, how to make sales, and like how to make people benefit. Because when you help people benefit, they're going to want to help you. And how are you going to help me? By going to buy something from my table. This way you got what you wanted, you helped the person that helped you, and now everyone's all happy.
I think brand recognition is something that a lot of people don't realize, that it's something fairly simple, just by like having a logo, making a t-shirt, putting it on your Instagram, making that readily available, put it on somewhere on your table, get a tablecloth, something, just so people recognize you. So, because now every show prints a list. When people are coming to the show, they could see, okay, there's Shadow Strike, they're table 14. Where's table 14? I know I have to hit that table, because you gave them an experience and they remember you because they saw your logo, they saw your stuff. So I think that is so important. And it's something I think that when people are starting out, that they really should think a lot about, like, how are they going to brand themselves? Especially with having an Instagram, because that's immediately what I think of when I meet someone, or someone tells me that they want a table. I say, let me look at your Instagram, or follow me on Instagram, or message me on Instagram, because I don't go and give my phone number out to every single person that comes up to me and say, oh, hey, can I get a table?
Yeah,
and I want to be able to remember you, because I speak to so many people at the show. And, if a dozen people come up to me at a show and say, hey, how can I get a table? I tell them, like, message me on Instagram tomorrow, because my DMs are going to be flooded today with people who are tagging the show with their pickups and everything. And how am I going to remember you? Like, I'm going to remember the Gengar with the Shadow Strike in the eyes. Like, I'm going to remember you. And like, you talk to me and you're wearing your brand and you showed me your table and you have your brand over there. But if you're like, oh, I'm Joe, like, oh, hey, Joe. I mean, like, remind me of what we talked about. I mean, like, it's just very important to me. And as a consumer also, not just someone who runs shows, it's someone who if I identify someone with the brand, I'm more than likely going to come back to them because I had a good experience. And that's how I get people to come back to the show, because I want them to keep on having good experiences, and I'm open for feedback. So if you have any suggestions on how I can make my show better, I want to learn and I want to help, because I want to be able to like get more people, so the vendors could have more people come in.
Honestly, I think this is something I spoke with my friend Rydell about Pokestop World. So I think something you did real well, and you did it with Charm Market too, I believe, is the VIP pass giveaways right before the show. I think doing that before the show is great marketing, right? Because one, now you're reaching all these people's followers. Like, for example, Rydell was just at the Fishtown card show a couple weeks ago, and he got a bunch of followers through there. So now the next show you're doing, running a giveaway with the VIP pass from somebody who just got a bunch of followers from a whole different area. So now Fishtown isn't that far out. It's an hour and a half, and we have people who drive from all over for some of these shows, right?
Virginia. I had people from like all over the place. Yeah. I met a couple guys from Virginia that started driving at 4:00 in the morning so they could get there for 8 a.m. And then they were like, "Oh, VIP sold out." I felt terrible, but I let them in because like, he drove 4 hours in the morning to come see us. It's like, it's such an honor for me that like people are that interested in the show.
We realized that in Orlando because your show's name has come up by people who weren't Jersey vendors. So like, we realized in Orlando, like, this was my first Collecticon, so maybe other people realized it first.
Oh, did you just go to Orlando last weekend?
I was in Orlando.
I didn't realize that you were there.
Yeah, I was. Shout out to my boy Slacking Jerry who booked the section for us.
Yeah,
on the table. It was so much fun. It was so fun. But we realized that Jersey is the capital of shows. Like, there's people who were like, "Oh man, I haven't had a show in 2 months," and I'm like, "Where are you from?" They're like, "Yeah, I'm from Nevada," and I'm like, "Oh, damn, that sucks." Sometimes we have 3-day show weekends,
right?
Where we do 3 shows, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's like, sometimes it's rough. And then they're like, "Yeah, I haven't vended in 2 months." And I'm like, damn. But
yeah,
that's what I think. Doing VIP giveaways are really cool. I feel like, for example, Destin Rivals dropped. I feel like if a booster bundle was like thrown in a giveaway. It interacts with followers. It interacts with people who come in. It makes people want to be there bright and early. And if they can't, like, it also like boosts sales for early access because they're like, well, I want to enter this giveaway. I also want to go into the show, and I'm here, so I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to get there. They'll stay longer. They'll meet more people. It just benefits everyone all around. They have a chance to win. Vendors get more customers early on, and it gets more interactions with the Instagram show page. Like, I think that's just something cool. And I'm learning a lot about running shows and communicating with people because I'm co-hosting Card Clash in Long Island at the 7 a.m. mall with my friend Battle Style Bros. So, like, I had to pick all this stuff, like, really quick. So it's just, there's so many things and so many ways to improve, but I already classify your shows as one of the best in Jersey because it's large. There's a big variety, and something I really like about certain shows in Jersey is it's not all cards. I don't know I really need to introduce myself to these people, but there's someone at your shows who sells crystals and like potted plants, and
potted plants. I don't think the potted plants.
Did they have no? It was a 3D print. That's what it was. It wasn't a potted plant. It was I bought some plants. Are there? There's somebody who sells potted plants.
Yeah, to get to the non-card vendors at our shows, I at the beginning I wanted just anyone because we really because I started, so when there are brand new shows that come up, I always like to try and support them, and I always put them on the calendar. If anyone DMs me and tells me that they want to be put on the calendar, I'll always put them on. But because my first show started out was 34 tables, and we had maybe 300 attendees, and I think it was successful, but like by today's standards, it would have been a flop. But it's just because we stuck with it for the past almost 2 years that our show has been able to grow. But then also for shows, they're rarely ever really great because there's so many variables. It's like the advertising and the people that come, like, this might work, this might not work. How are you gonna have everyone come to the show at the same time, like all the vendors? How are you going to communicate with them? How are you going to have them line up? How are you going to have them pick their tables? There are lots of variables that go into starting a first show. But the attendance, I think that how our show has been able to grow so much is through advertising, and also just because people are able to come back based on their experience. They saw that my show was a little different from other shows that have been going on, and they're like, okay, we're going to keep on coming to this one, or this one's different. And I don't think of myself as competing with any other show. I think that all the other shows have different personalities. So if you go to my show, or if you go to Woodbridge, or if you go to Morris, or whatever show, I think that they're completely different personalities and different vibes. Like, I think that that's also why all the shows in New Jersey are able to be successful, is that you might get a different experience going to the show, or you have a choice of different vendors going to this show, or if you want something a little more crowded, you want something a little more chill, you have your the different ones you can go to.
Yeah, no, I definitely think everybody has their own like specialties and the way they do things, and like premiums and all that. Like, every show I've been to, the host has run it differently, and what works. So if you do it this way and she does it that way and he does it this way, if it's running, it's running.
Right.
Like, if it's running, like, personally, so like I was saying, I'm co-hosting a show with Josh, right? Battle Style Bros. That's like the craziest thing I've ever done, because you could ask Eli and I, and we work so well together. But if you were to see, Eli's like, Ahmed, you can't just do everything. You have to give me something to do. It's because I don't like variables. I like knowing, like, I need, in order for something to do well, I need to do it myself, so I know what's going to happen. Like, we just went to Orlando. He said, Ahmed, I booked the flight tickets all the way to the airport. I'm like, you sure you booked it, right? I was like, we wouldn't be in the car if I didn't book it. I was like, okay, but like, you sure it went through? Like, we're going to go there and our spots are going to, I was like, Ahmed, we have the same email. You've seen the confirmation email. He's like, yeah, but you're sure it didn't get canceled, right? And I'm like,
oh my God.
I need like.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I don't like surprises, and I tell it to people that like everything that I am able to take care of early on, I want to take care of, because once the doors open, you never know what's going to happen. So that's why I like check in a certain way, and that's why I like organizing the way I do, just because I don't, exactly like you said, I don't like variables. I don't like things that could pop up, and like the things that do pop up, I want to be able to take care of them right away, because if there's things that are taken care of later on, things get mishmashed, and I like to be able to just kind of coast. And luckily the shows have been going well, and I've been able to kind of like keep everything the way that they've been. And I'm very fortunate that I have a lot of repeat vendors, so everyone kind of knows the deal, like get there on time and everything else.
Yeah, no, I think it's great when you know what's going down, because everything plays out the right way. But when you have to rely on other people, it's more so like I need to know. But I've been doing it now with Eli for a while, so everything goes well. It's just planes freak me out, right?
Right.
So do you want to hear a little story of what happened on the way to Orlando?
Go for it.
So Eli has 3 lithium batteries in his bag, right?
Not the check bag, right?
Yes. We didn't have check bags, carry on.
Oh, okay. Because the check bags, you're not allowed to have those in the check bags.
Yep. Well, we didn't know that. So we go and we get our boarding passes, and all he sees, he did the checking. So all he sees is no lithium batteries, right?
You could have them in the carry-on.
Well, we didn't know that at the time. So we're freaking out at the line, and I'm just like, oh man, hold my lithium battery. And he's like, why am I holding your lithium battery? I was like, you'll find out in 5 minutes. He puts his carry-on through the thing. He's completely fine. They're like, sir. And I'm like, yes. He's like, random TSA search. I was like, oh, of course. I was like, and Eliza.
They wave your hands?
They're like, yeah, this to the machine, and they're like, I was like, and he's patting me down, and Eliza. So Eli's full name's Eliza. He's standing past the X-ray machine because he went first, and he's laughing his ass off, right? And he goes, that's how he is the whole time. And I'm like, and the guy goes, Claire, and then Eliza goes, is this why you passed me your lithium battery? I was like, bro. I'm like, bro, I knew they were going to search me. And he was like, how'd you know? Like, how? I was like, my name is Ahmed, and I'm in a Newark airport. They're going to search me over you. They're going to search me over you. And the guy goes, and I'm like, and he's like feeling all up on me. And obviously, I like to lighten the mood. So I was like, you're not going to take me out to dinner first? And he was like, this isn't something to joke about. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay. So now on our way back from Orlando to Newark, I just, the people who wait in the lobby, and they're like, would you like to pay the express fee? Right? I was like, yes, I would like to pay the express fee. And they're like, it's $80. And I was like, I don't care how much it is. I don't want to go through the TSA line again. And they're like, okay. So I pay the guy. The guy takes all our stuff. He runs it through the X-ray machine. He's like, clears the line, and he's like, they're with me. And he brings us all the way to the shuttle. And they question one of our bags, and they're like, "What, sir?" And they ask the guy. They're only speaking to the guy. They're not speaking to me. They're like, do you know what's in their bag? And he's like, it's Pokemon cards. So we open it. We open the bag, and all they see is cards like this. Right? And they're like, okay, checks out. And then we meet Alex in the waiting area, Highlander cards, right? Love Highlander. And he's like, what took you guys so long? I was like, bro, not all of us have the name Alex, okay? I get nothing done fast, okay? And he's like, you've been here since...
I get checked all the time in the airports too. I fly a lot for work. So I mean, like, I'm sorry you had that experience. That's terrible.
No, I knew it was happening.
So now you have pre-check or clear? Are you like signed up?
Oh yeah, I got that full on membership. I was like, we are not dealing with this again. And he goes, so we're driving to Cleveland, I assume, because we're gonna do Cleveland at the end. Yeah. And he goes, so we're driving to Cleveland. I was like, yes, we're driving to Cleveland.
So how'd you do a Collecticon in Orlando? How does it? I've heard mixed reviews about Collecticon. I haven't heard much about Orlando. I was just wondering, like, how does it compare to a New Jersey show? Or because you didn't vend at the last show with us. You just walked, right?
We just walked. We had a prior arrangement to that. So when it comes to Collecticon, I would say it was mixed for everyone. And the reason I say mixed for everyone is because a lot of us are carrying different products, right? So I was talking with a friend of mine about what we carry in our case. And they're like, what's the range of a single card? And I'm like, anywhere from 20 to like 400. And he was like, oh, so nothing like super high end. And then I tell him, I was like, you've heard of the Poncho Pikachus, right? Like the Pikachu, like, right? So I was like, there's no point in me carrying a poncho. And they're like, why? I was like, because a poncho's $10,000 and Joe Schmo isn't walking through the door of a TCG show. And they're like, yeah, I'm spending 10 racks on a Pokemon card. If a card
I see it every single one of our shows.
Really?
Every single show.
Oh my God.
Every single show, especially Bridgewater. We have people spend money like that.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't wait to meet them. But I go and I tell him, I was like, a card like that is really expensive and it's going to sit, right? And then he was like, oh, so what if it sits? If it sits, it's going to end up being a vendor-to-vendor deal, and then you're going to sit there arguing over $100, $200. I'll gladly stick with my lower-end singles and move them. Mm-hmm. So we got bought out at Orlando, and then we bought right back in because everyone was selling, everyone was buying. Everyone was selling, everyone was buying. And then
was it more vendor to vendor, or was it actual like organic people who are coming in the show?
For us, it was more organic, but I do know a lot of people in our section that had a lot more vendor deals done. But that goes back to what I was saying. The people who were doing more vendor deals were people with a lot of higher end stuff, like slabs over 4 digits. And I think it's more so like you said, yes, there might be people who come in and spend that much money on Pokemon cards, but for the regular person, not everybody could afford that much, but they still like to enjoy the hobby. So they'll come, they'll like master set it, and like I feel like the most common is the master setter and the pack ripper, right? Because they're ripping packs to complete their master set, and then when they can't afford the high-end card to complete it, they have a bunch of smaller cards from the packs they ripped that they'll trade into that bigger card, right? So I just think that's the most common showgoer, and that's kind of the boat that we're in right now with collecting cards, and it's been working for us. Orlando was great. Honestly, my favorite time wasn't even the convention. My favorite time was the pool in the hotel. Like, I like to swim. Like, that was my favorite. And then
you like to scream?
What?
You like to scream? Is that what you said?
I like to swim.
Oh, I like to scream. You're like, I like to scream and splash.
Yeah. I like
playing Marco Polo with the guys.
It's so fun. It's so fun. Like, and then my favorite part is like, yeah, we're in Orlando. We're gonna try a bunch of new restaurants. And then Jerry goes, yeah, we're going to Longhorn. And I was like, we do that after every NJ TCG show to go to Longhorn. We're in Orlando. You don't want to go to like a food truck or something? He's like, I really want steak, right?
They got steak everywhere.
Yeah, but
we're going to Outback.
Oh, so we go to Longhorn, right? And Jerry's holding up his fork and knife, like waiting for it to come out. And after we're finished and everything, he goes, yeah, I'm satisfied. We can go back now. I was like, go back where? He was like, to Jersey. I was like, they have these Longhorns in Jersey. Right? But it was a ball. I think my favorite moment in Orlando has to be, do you have a gym badge? No, I don't have a gym badge. I don't know why everyone's asking for a gym badge. So
what do they need a gym badge for?
I talk to the CollectorCon people because that's my same question, right? And I'm like, why is everyone asking me if I have a gym badge? And they're like, oh, it's the scavenger hunt we do for the kids. And whoever collects all 8 of the gym badges first wins the scavenger hunt.
Oh.
Right? And then they win the prize. And I was just like, well, can you tell people I don't have a gym badge?
You should just like make a sign, no gym badge.
Oh my God, bro. I got so annoyed with the gym badge at a point that I told somebody I had a gym badge and they had to guess the magic password. There was no magic password. I just wasted 10 minutes of this.
Oh my God.
And then they were like, you don't have the gym badge, do you? I was like, no, I don't have the gym badge. Oh man. But like I said, my favorite time in Orlando, besides the gym badge, had to be me going to Skylar's table. And Skylar was like, Ahmed, I'm going to use the bathroom. I'll be right back, right? And I go to Skylar's security camera. So, because he doesn't make content or anything. He just records the table and makes sure everything's good. And I goes like, Skylar, can you come back, please? To his camera. And the next day he goes, yeah, it was 10 minutes. Oh, man, I just love messing with Skylar. I think if I'm behind a table the whole time, I'll be bored. So I like
of course.
I like making connections. I like knowing people. I like messing around because that's just my type of humor, right?
You like splashing.
I love to splash. I like the whole. So we're going to Boston, and then the show, right? But there is a very small chance we don't go to Boston because the place we're staying at in Lee comes with a pool. So it all depends on what Kenny wants to do, right?
Oh, Kenny's coming? Oh. Kenny was in the chat.
Oh, wait, is this live? I thought this was pre-recorded.
we got people in the chat. I don't know if they're still here, but we got Char Market. Jenny says hi. We have Pokey Kitty. We have Potato Pulse, Slacking Jerry, Gomez, TCG, Snack Bread. We got all of our friends are here.
They're all gonna make fun. That's crazy. Yo, Pokey Kitty's in here. So speaking of Pokey Kitty, you want to hear another inside joke? So you said Joe. Hi, my name is Joe, and you're talking about people wanting tables. If somebody comes up to me and tells me their name is John one more time, I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna crash out. There is so many Johns that we. I don't
really know that many Johns. The only John I could think of right now is like
Pokey Kitty's name is John.
Pokey Kitty's husband.
Yeah, that's John 12.
John 12, and then John Rocks TCG. I mean, like I don't know any other Johns. Who's the other Johns?
You have 21st Century Collectibles is John 1. You have Grilling Games, who is John 7. A lot of the Johns are fleeing my mind at the moment. Oh, you got John 2, which is TCG Johnny. He's a big walker, but he sells on Instagram. But he's at all your shows. He walks them.
I feel like Nick is a very popular name. I hear there's a lot. Like one day or one show, I had like an entire section. It was like 8 of them were Nick. No, it couldn't have been 8 because there was only 6 tables. But yeah, it was totally organic too. They didn't know each other, and they were like, "Where am I?" I'm like, "You're by Nick. Go find the other Nick." It was weird. It was very weird. They're like, "I guess I'll take the table, Nick." Right? The Nick section.
Come on, you got Nicky cards. I can't think of any other Nicks.
Yeah, I can't think of any other. Oh, there's like Progress TCG, he's Nick. There's like, I don't remember. There was just so many Nicks that show. It was so weird. It had to have been over a year ago. But yeah, lots of Nicks.
You got Jerry's Trading Corner and Slacking Jerry. So we call Slacking Jerry Jerry Prime, and we call Jerry's Trading Corner Sus Jerry, like Among Us. Because Slacking Jerry was born first, so that he's the copycat.
Well, there's a J and a G. That's how I know them.
Sounds the same to me.
Right, I guess, right?
It's all the same to me.
So what makes a good show? Like, what makes a really great show?
Honestly, the vendors that are there. For me, it's the vendors that are there and the host is what matters to me about a good show. So, like, if the
you've only done one of our shows, right? I think you've only done one.
I've only vended one NJ TCG, but what's important to me
is with these prior engagements. What is this all about? I don't understand. Why are you doing all these prior engagements?
I'm doing every summer show. I booked every summer. So I remember when we first started vending, it was hard to get into an NJ TCG because they sell, the application comes out so far in advance, right? But once you're in it, it's a great environment because you know all your vendors, and that's what I mean by a host is important to the show. Because if the host doesn't know who you are, why are you there? Why'd they choose you to set up the table?
I don't know a lot of them. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of vendors that I knew you from the store, but there's a lot of vendors that I don't know until they show up. If I have 150 tables, I have maybe 130 of them will be repeats. So that leaves 20 tables that are brand new.
But you introduce yourself. That's the whole difference. Like that's what I think makes a key difference is you at least attempt to know them, or you know them because they're free. Like I can't believe I've been to a show and the person questioned on why I'm in and out, and they're like, "Did you pay for your ticket?" I was like,
"Is it wristband?"
I'm wearing the whole thing. I'm stamped and everything. You saw me at the ass crack of dawn. Like, how do you not remember me? Like,
sometimes I don't remember people, and I feel bad about it. But like most of the time, it's repeat vendors, and I appreciate that. I appreciate people coming back, and I do feel bad when people really want to get in, they can't. But I can't help that the show sold out 2 months ago, and you became a vendor a week and a half ago. I mean, like that's a lot of what happens with people who want to get into the show, that they start vending and then they want to get into the show that's this week. But unfortunately, I have to book them so far in advance because they're big shows. You want to make sure that they fill up too.
It takes a lot of planning, and you don't want an empty table at a show because it doesn't look good if it's person. So
right.
That's why shows have to be done so far in advance. Right. Card Clash is in June, but we've been talking about it since January.
And it's 200 tables, right? So how many tables do you have booked right now?
I believe about like 180-ish.
Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's a mall. So it's like, if they all don't sell out, it's like, it's not so we're saying 200 plus tables because people keep asking how many tables are available. But if we get 300 bookings, we could book all 300 people. Like it's a number to have on the fly. I could just space everyone out so there could be like walking space. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's
right.
More so you want to be there, come be there. Like
right.
Kyle and I are doing our podcast live over there. So because we run a Lights Out podcast and we're gonna do it live. We're super scared because our podcast isn't live. It's pre-edited.
Oh, it's not. Oh, you edit your
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
No, we have an editor and a graphic designer
wow.
and everything, and there's a layout and an intro, and they can cut out when I say something by accident. So
what's the date of the show? It's June 22nd?
June 21st and 22nd. On the first day, we'll be Kyle and I will be interviewing the voice actor of Professor Oak.
Oh, so Pokey Kitty wants to know the Potato Pulls TCG. They want June 1st is going to be at the Lee outlets from 10 to 4, but then after that is the New Jersey TCG show. June 14th at the Delta Hotel in Somerset. You're vending that show, right? You're not vending, are you? Yep. Do you have a table? There's too many.
Another funny thing about registering for that show. So we couldn't find the link, so we went to go DM you. Well, Eli went to go DM you because he does all the bookings, right? Mm-hmm. And you sent him the link, and he was like, "Ahmed, I still can't figure out how to book." You had sent him the a different link for the same website. It wasn't the paid link.
Yeah, you called me. You actually see, like, some vendors have my phone number because I put all my phone number. I put my information in my emails, but you have my phone. Because you bought a case from me. I was like, you called me and you're like, I have too much information. I have information. I have access to information I shouldn't have.
Eli called. Eli called.
Okay, so I was like, how? I mean, like, it's not a secret. Like, I mean, you could do math. I mean, like if there's 130 tables, they're all $120 each. I mean, like you could see the total of how much is calculated. But it's just so you're like, I have too much access, and I'm like, oh God.
He was freaking out.
I don't know how that even happened, but I'm grateful it went to you and not someone with some like terrible, ideas that they could have done to me.
You want to know how that phone call went for me? Because I got the phone call before you. So I'm driving home from work, and he's like, Ahmed. And I'm like, bro, the world's not ending. Let's not yell on the phone because you're connected to my whole car and it's loud, right? And he goes, I don't want her to hate me. And I was like, what? All I asked you to do was pay for a show. What'd you do? All right. And he's like, she sent me the wrong link. I can move everything. And I was like, okay, why are you talking like this, bro? Just DM Jose was the wrong thing, right? And she was like, I don't want to touch my computer and hit the wrong thing. I was like, bro, just hit the X. Hit the X. It's not that hard.
No, I mean, like luckily it went to Eli and it didn't go to someone evil. But yeah, I mean, things happen. And if he did do that, I would have done a process of elimination of how many people I sent the link to. And then it would just be.
And then you figure,
Eli banned for life.
And then he calls me back after he happened. He's like, okay, I paid. I fixed it. I was like, man.
This guy.
I was like, I mean, thanks. But like, why do we freak out? I was trying to drive. You know what I was doing? I was at Dunkin' Donuts. And I was listening to Morgan Wallen, and you called me freaking out, right? I was at Dunkin' Donuts. I was listening to my song. I was on my way home from work. I was ready to pass out to some Criminal Minds, and you want to call me freaking out about, I got the wrong link. I was like, man, read.
So do you do a show every weekend?
I do 2 shows every weekend, or
Jeez.
1-2 days. We have not had. Actually, this Saturday will be our first break in like 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, because I just see it as like, if I have the option to do it, because what else am I gonna do? Like stay home? I need to be productive. So like, even if we have a weekend day off, like we're gonna figure something to do because I need everything to keep rolling. So we'll record a podcast episode that day if we have off. We'll go buy stuff or we'll go fix our spreadsheet of what we have in our inventory, because it's hard to update your spreadsheet like while you're moving. Like Daedalus does a really good job at doing it, like keeping track of everything. And I wish I was as smart as he was, because you was not catching me on an iPad in the middle of the show. I won't. I'm an iPad kid, and I'll end up on TikTok or something. Like I don't know. I'd be playing games. I won't be on a spreadsheet. Don't put an iPad in front of me.
Oh my God, you're funny.
Chat.
Huh?
I wish I could see the chat.
There's not really. I mean, Pokey Kitty said the new Criminal Minds is great.
Yes.
And Gomez said you better be at the show.
I will be, Gomez. Love my boy Gomez. But yes, the new Criminal Minds is great. I just finished watching the most recent episode. Like, that's what I was doing before I hopped on here. I was so shocked. I won't spoil it just in case you haven't seen it.
No spoilers, okay?
It was so. Oh, I found out how to see the chat. Oh, Jerry was in here. Hi, Jerry. That's so cool.
So what's next for you? So this weekend you're going to Boston, and then you're coming to our show.
Yeah, so actually
I'm trying to get Pokey Kitty to come to the show. Maybe they'll be able to come up. It's a little.
Oh yeah. So while we were in Orlando, I can't sleep unless there's background noise. And I normally play a podcast to like fall asleep. And then my podcast had no new episodes. I was like, I gotta put something else to fall asleep.
You watch yourself? You go to sleep to yourself?
No. Other podcasts. That'd be crazy.
Oh my God. What kind of psychopath watches or listens to their own?
No, that would be crazy if I listened to myself.
Can you imagine? I mean, like I can't even watch or listen to my podcast over again. I'll watch the clips, like some of the clips, but I can't watch them over again. I'm like, I can't stand myself.
So I put Jerry's video on to fall asleep. So I put Slacking Jerry's video to fall asleep on. Everyone go check out Slacking Jerry's video. I'm in a lot of them. It's really funny. Oh, Pokey Kitty says there's no tables for the show. It's sold out, isn't it?
Oh, is it? I think that there might be one or two. As of the last time I checked, there was 1 or 2 tables that were left over.
John
12. But it's far. You guys live far.
John 12 loves the grind, bro. John 12 loves the grind. He'll wake up at the ass crack of dawn. Right, John?
John loves the grind. Like I don't know how people do what they do. I mean, I'm very fortunate to have a job where I'm working at home. So I'm not in a coal mine and I'm not like working outside. And so if I'm tired, I'm a little tired. I'm not like, luckily that my job doesn't require me to be 100% alert like from 8 a.m. the next day. So
yeah,
you need me up in upstate New York. There's so many shows up in upstate New York, Gomez. Tell them that I spend more on advertising. I think that's
you know what? You know what would be cool? Like an man, do I say it live? I don't want to give my ideas away. What if we do like an NJ TCG super show? Like that'd be cool.
It's like every show is a super.
No, I'm talking.
Well, I have something that's happening in the future.
Right.
It's not top secret. It's not top secret. It's just in the very infant stages. It's going to be a big show. There's going to be some things going on, but we just have to make sure it's in the right spot that makes the most sense. So.
Ooh, that's so cool. Maybe we'll do that show. I've been talking to John and it's not John. It's his voice.
You know what? It's Renee. I just assume it's Renee all the time, even though I'm sure I'm talking to John sometimes. Like,
it's funny because I assume the exact opposite. I'm like, yeah, what's up, John? And it's funny because John is John 12, so he's the 12th John I've met. So it's
like John 3:16.
Oh my god, I haven't went to one of these.
I haven't went to one of my. Lee is my first one going to or vending it. I'll probably go crazy. New York, I'm in Mass, and everything near Boston, and we just go to New York. So
that's cool.
Potato. No, we're just talking directly to the.
You know it's John because he can't spell. Damn.
You're going to talk directly to the chat. Potato, are you vending with us this weekend? I hope so. I was going to ask you if you're looking for a table and if you're where you're from. So if anyone in the chat wants to ask us any questions, or if you have any questions for Ahmed or me at the TCG show, we're open for questions.
Oh man, here comes Jerry with all his weird questions. Come on, Jerry. Hit me.
No, I love Jerry. I think that Jerry is like he's just a nice guy, just super nice guy, and the Jerry wheel, and I love his videos.
I love Jerry.
And he's always making the kids smile and just like people happy. And I'm really impressed with everything, how he's been able to grow over the last like couple months that I've known him. But he actually started as someone with a VIP pass to the show. That I didn't know who he was. And then he signed up for a table. And I'm like, this guy, he just signed up for a table and he just bought a VIP pass. So he's not even going to be coming to the shows as a patron anymore.
Ahmed, how many steps do you get in at a show? You're always moving. Oh, you know who asked me that question? The one, the only, the Tony Soprano of the Pokemon card world. Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Who's
that? Godfather. Godfather.
I was like the Tony Soprano. I was like, Raffy?
Yeah. So Raffy. So LI, we downloaded the fitness app and we activated it on my watch because he was gonna die to figure out how many steps I was taking. And at the end of Saturday, it was at 32,800 something, right? And he goes, I don't walk that much in a month. And I'm like, he was like, oh man, Pokey Godfather is good. We love Pokey Godfather.
Yeah, I love him. He's great. I feel like the New Jersey show in July is going to be good. A lot of people that didn't get into Collecticon are going to go crazy. Yeah, I agree. That's why I wasn't really afraid to book a show that close to Collecticon, because I knew that there weren't going to be that many people that were going to be available to get tables. And I don't think that people are going to want to sit in the lines at Collecticon. When there's so many available shows in New Jersey, I think that they will want to go to Collecticon. I have no doubt that Collecticon is going to be busy, but I think that people are going to be, if they drive by and they don't have tickets and they see those lines, I don't know. Do people wait in line outside of Collecticon Orlando?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the Jersey people might be spoiled with the amount of shows that we have, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
I mean, I think it's just going to be, so the show in July is the week after Collecticon, no?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be, hi, Alex.
Right? Hey, Alex.
But, I think the show in July is going to be great for two specific reasons. One, people who couldn't attend Collecticon, and two, for people who need to either stock up or sell stuff that they didn't move at Collecticon. So I feel like it's just a win-win. No matter what, anybody who throws a show is just like anyone.
Are you doing the show in July?
No. Your show.
Prior engagement?
I just told you I'm doing every show you have on the summer schedule.
Prior engagement?
No more prior engagements. It's okay, I promise. No, I'm booked for all your shows besides the August one because it hasn't dropped yet. But anything that
August is up.
Did I pay it? I gotta talk to my accounts payable. But no, we're in July. We're there for the 2-day. You could come see us. We are that's June's room. We're in the main room, I think. I think that's the one he selected, right? I know for June 14th, we'll be in the first table to your right on the side room, right? But honestly, any spots in that venue is like great. I love like the space and the hallway.
Yeah. Ahmed, you've been watching the show.
Hey, I mean, I like it, so I hope
there's no bad spots.
No, there is no bad spots. Everybody cooks. Everybody's cooking. But let me answer Jerry's question. What's the next card going into your PC? And you're asking that out of spite for not selling me Captain's Pikachu, Jerry. Right? So I love Jerry. So
sounds like we're beefing over here.
No beef with Jerry. We love Jerry. But we both, Jerry and I both like Pikachus, so he got to it first. But during Collecticon Orlando, I was on the hunt for a very specific card, right? Because I collect Japanese exclusive Pikachus, and I like.
Well, that's cool.
I was hunting this one.
Yeah, that is a cool card.
I even have the guard for it. But Jerry has.
Is that the cotton candy guard?
Yes, it's super sick, right? Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So
Renee's got it in the 10 if you want to trade. Sorry. I actually know someone else with a 10 over at the store who's like a or a store comer.
So show goer. We have to get Pokey Kitty in Mass. We have to find a way to get them there so I can have their card. No, nobody wants that Rosa card, Alex. You're the one who wants Rosa.
The trainer?
So there's an inside joke with Alex, right? So Alex is building houses with the bricks he buys because Rosa. Oh yeah, my Captain's Pikachu. You should get the voltage one. That's the one I was going to put on it. But Alex bought this Rosa card, right? And he was like, yeah, a high-end trainer is going to look real nice in the case. And it looked real nice if you were building the foundation of a house with how sturdy it was. And so
I'll talk shit about my Alex.
Oh, it's not
Alex, I want to see it. I want to see a picture on your Instagram featuring that Rosa card. Maybe like a dozen roses around it or something. I'll look forward to it. And I wanted to get credited with the design choice. I want to say Marilyn at NJ TCG show. She was the one.
No, I love Alex to death. That's why we can keep making our little joke because he keeps coming at me with my my little detective Pikachu that he's jealous of. Right? Next week's photo. I want to see it. But Alex had Rosa, and he goes, Ahmed, buy this Rosa. I was like, no, I'm not buying Rosa. Rosa don't move. Right? I think it's just certain cards have like very specific markets.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And in order to sell that card, you need to know your audience. Like a lot of stuff I'll stock up on. So like a couple months ago, everybody was trying to master set Crown Zenith. So like I'll stock up on the Galarian Galleries. I'll stock up on the SIRs. John bought a brick last NJ TCG, the Charmander promo Pokemon Center in a 10. Lol. We will never move that. Oh,
it was probably expensive. How much you buy it for?
It was selling for $1,000 at a point. Speaking of that card, PokeKitty, I'm trying to also make Pokemon investments for the future, right? And this is what I decided on investing in during Orlando, right? Oh yeah, Gomez is gonna help you out. Market is 1,600 now. That's criminal. Gomez, I hope your pockets are deep. But I chose to invest into this Pokemon Center sealed ETB with my Target cereal tin on it, right? Super
PokeKitty, I think that you're gonna like the people up in Lee, Massachusetts. I don't know if you've met any of them. They were at the show and the last Somerset show. Very good people, nice people.
Bought for $950. Oh, that's not bad. That's a really good margin on it. That's a really good margin on that card.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you about your Obsidian Flames ETB.
Oh, I totally.
Is that your? You're saving for the future? You're gonna keep it sealed.
Should I open it or should I keep it sealed? Yeah,
you should open it on live now.
That's expensive.
I don't have anything to open, but I do. Rob has these 2 collector boosters for Magic Dragonstorm. I'm sure that they're expensive. So should I open it? I'm not going to open it.
I feel like, speaking of Magic, like I think one of the topics everybody has is he has a long future still. He is a child. Wow, thanks, Alex. Alex bullies me because I'm young.
Didn't you tell me you have a wife and children? Don't you have small children?
I have I walk around saying I have kids because I raised kids at 16. So my dad passed when I was very young. And I had my 3. Now there's age gaps between all my siblings. So I did, and my mom, and like I come from a first family of immigrants. So my mom was always hard speaking of English, and like she's learned. But I did a lot of the parent teacher conferences at like the ripe age of 16. So she was with me, but I'm the one who did all the translating. I'm the one who did the initiating. I helped my sister when my sister turned 16. I helped her get her first job. I helped her apply for college. So the joke around in my household is I'm not Ahmed, I'm Pops. So they all call me Pops at home, right? So when we started doing the show, my youngest, which is my sister Mayar, she just turned 12.
Oh, she's a baby.
Yep. She comes to all the shows. Not all of them. She comes to the ones where she doesn't have her clubs on Saturday. So if she doesn't have the club, she'll come with me to show, and she loves bothering Alex for her trade up challenges. She loves it, right? But that's the joke where they all call me Pops. But to Alex, I'm youngin', which I love because I feel old. So when Alex goes, Ahmed, you're a child, I was like, okay, I guess. Whatever you want to call it, Alex. Because my birthday had recently passed, and I got the same question. How old are you? Right? So I kept telling everybody, and they're like, no, you're not. I'm like, how many people am I going to have to show my driver's license to? Like,
what are you, like 24? How old are you?
Just turned 22.
Oh, my goodness. You are a baby. You could be my child. Oh, my gosh.
Highlander, she brings the bricks. Oh, man.
Did your sister trade the Rosa? Was she the one that got the Rosa?
Nah, he bought Rosa at a trade night, I believe. Right, Alex? Come on, Alex. Type fast.
All right. Maybe he stepped away.
So, I think back to our original question before we were reading the chat. I think to John. Oh, yeah, he did get it from John. You got it from John 1, right? But I think our original question is what makes a good show is the vendors there and the host. Because if you have a host who tries to at least know all the vendors and you have all your friends there, the people you've known from the past couple of years, which is why I think it's a really good thing that you have reoccurring vendors. It's like you walk into the room, you know these people already. So you want to come back. You want to establish, like, this person gave me a deal. I could go to him and sell him this because he's going to give me the best price on this, which is why I think your show is one of the very few shows where all the vendors are similar. Like, if you go to the shows that are like happening every other week or like too often, it's not the same people because it just keeps changing. So when you go to the NJ TCG show, it's the same line of vendors. You could establish a connection with them, and the show happens monthly. Most times it's monthly.
Now we're monthly.
Yeah, so it happens monthly. So you know where these people will be at. You know that, hey, if you ever want vending, well, I come to him all the time. He definitely has tips and tricks. If he's here every month, he knows what he's doing. He's established a connection. And then for vendor sides, if the host knows who you are, you're there, or they attempt to interact with you at least, you know that you're wanted there. You're not there just because you want to sell stuff. You're there because it builds a community. Essentially, a good show is a sense of community. And I think the best thing you could do like that is by being shop owners as well. You're in the store almost every Sunday, no? When you can be.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like...
We just hired someone for the store, so hopefully I don't have to be there that often. But I'm in the store every Sunday.
So it's like you also establish like a community. Like Chino's in the store all the time. I love Chino. Right? Chino's he knows it's familiar faces. You're building a community. You go to a show, you feel comfortable in the show. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I think, what one of the most important thing is a sense of community. And that's what makes a good show. Like, I met Alex at one show and I recognized him, and I go back to Alex goes, yo, what show are you doing this weekend so we could be in the same area? Why? Because he knows I'm not at the table. Alex knows I'm not going to be there. So where am I going to be? I'm going to go bother Alex. Oh my God. You want to know what my favorite thing to do is at the end of a show, I'll walk up, I'll be like, hey, bye. And he's like, well, where are you at next week? I was like, oh, I'll be there. Steph, I'll take your shift, Steph. Steph is Alex's wife. So she goes to all the shows, but if she can't make a show, I make a joke. I'm like, yeah, I'll take your shift. I'll be at Alex's table.
You're going to stand in as his wife?
I'll sub in and I'll cover your bathroom breaks, you know. I got you guys. I got like Jerry's so funny. Jerry will text me, Ahmed, potty break. I'm like, on my way. At this point, Ahmed, my wife. Yeah, Alex, I'm your substitute wife. I got you, brother. Right? Like, it's so funny because we all are essentially a big team. Like, actually, I want to pull up the photo just because it's one of my favorite photos from this past weekend. Right? We're all like one team. We're one big group of friends, and we all get along like so well. So it's funny that they know I'm a walker and like I could help them out. So like, this is a photo we took in Orlando. This is us in the Uber. Alex can't figure out how glares work, right? So,
that's your angel is in the background.
Well, is that what they say when there's a glare?
Yeah, it's your guardian angel.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Does anyone have any? Oh, I feel like vendor is different from what we want. I want all the low end from $2 to $20 because of us streaming, and we hope people bring us these now since they know. Cool to see. That's dope. I think live streaming and vending at the same time is like such a great thing because you're like establishing yourself in two different communities. That's super sick. And we know that was Pokey Kitty's wife, Renee. That was Renee because the message was spelled properly. I learned that earlier in the chat. Education lessons with Ahmed from Shadow Strike.
Oh my God.
Oh man, we've been going for an hour and a half.
We gotta wrap it up.
All right.
You want to do a live stream? You could do a live stream with the show.
Oh, I want to watch Pokey Kitty's live stream. So before we go, I want Alex to ask me a question because you're just sitting there conversating with me. So come on, Alex, give me a question. Let's wrap it up. So as we were leaving the flight to Orlando, Alex calls me dad and he hears it from Jerry, right? And then we have like you ever seen the Spider-Man meme where like they're all pointing at each other? Everyone's confused because I've been calling Jerry Dad the whole trip because he's been waking us up to make it to Orlando on time. Right. So I'm like confused, and they're like, what's wrong? I was like, if I'm Alex's dad, Jerry's a grandpa. It was the highlight of a show. And you want to know, speaking of Alex, you want to know the real funny moment? I got stuck with a Rosa. I had to buy it in a lot. So that's what I get for making fun of Alex. I caught the brick in the end. But it's okay.
All right, Ahmed. Give us the next 3 shows. Where are you going to be?
Next 3 shows, we're at Lee, Massachusetts on Sunday, where everyone's going to pull up. We're going to have a great time, and we're going to find Pokey Kitty a way to get there so I could buy Captain's Pikachu. Right. Then
yes.
We're at, on the 7th, we're at Liquid Games' Marketplace.
Big show, North Jersey.
And then LITCG on the 8th. But I'm going to give you a 4th show because you want to know where everyone in the chat's going to be. June 14th will be at NJ TCG. Everyone's going to pull up. We're on the right-hand side entrance. Once you pay your ticket, go straight, make a right. We are the first table on the right. We're going to be the biggest poppiest. Come see my LED Gengar sign, my banner. If you want to see me myself, I will be at Alex's table because I'll be near Alex. But if you want to see Eli, go to the right with the LEDs.
Yeah, right. You're gonna see Ahmed walking around with me because I'd be walking around the show, and Ahmed will be there making deals and with Cool Trainer Ryan.
I was on his YouTube video. You saw that? I was in the thumbnail. That was so sick.
Yes.
Me and Jerry. But other than that, guys, I want to thank everyone who joined the live show. Oh my God, my podcaster in me is coming out. Other than that, I want to thank everyone who was in the chat. Sorry for not knowing that it was live until like halfway through the live. Marilyn, thank you for having me on.
Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Go to Shadow Strike.
Show.
Go to Shadow Strike and follow him on Instagram. Follow him on there. Is it on YouTube? Where do we find your podcast?
My podcast will be in the link of the description on my Instagram page. If you want to type it on YouTube, type in Shadow Strikes CC on YouTube. Also, please make sure to go check out my friends Highlander Cards and Slacking Jerry. Shout out for being in the chat. Pokey Kitty, and Gomez. Thank you guys for all partaking in the chat and making this a blast. Marilyn, again, thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure. Would love to do this again. And I'll catch you on Sunday.
Yes. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for participating. And we'll see you all on Sunday if you come to the show. And if not, I'll see you on Instagram. See you on the next show. We're going to have Death Metal Charizard is going to be on the show. And we're going to be talking about our show that's going to be coming up. Death Metal Charizard. We're going to have him on the show on Thursday. And we're going to be able to talk about our show that's going to be up in Lee, Massachusetts. So thank you all.
Be there or be square.
Bye. The stream has ended.